I mean, day one, Justin said, I want to work with you. And then we pulled in Maria. I do feel like I could beat Justin and Maria, and that's part of the reason I would want to go to Final 3 with them, is I think I could make the case that I've survived more tribal councils than they have. I was the first one to take my own red teammate out to stay alive and to make new connections. I had Dion and Kathy as like a backup too. So I feel like I could make a good case for myself against Justin and Maria, because I feel like, I mean, they've kind of had one strategy and they have followed it through, but I feel like I've had to survive more obstacles. But what worries me is if we have, I don't know, taking a red to the end, if the jury will want to root for the underdog. Like, they came into the merge, you know, with low numbers, and they somehow made it to the end. So that worries me.
So, as far as like strategy going forward, clearly there's, in that 5, if Justin is a 5th wheel, that means that there's 2 duos of 2 girls. I have to figure out who those 2 duos are and figure out which one is most receptive to me. I'm pitching the idea that this jury is going to be full of yellows. So the best I got, that best case scenario, is going to be 3 red people on the jury voting for me, and that's not going to be enough to win. So I'm hoping that that's going to be something that is enticing enough, or at least gives people that one vote to make a stupid decision, and then I can figure it out from there. So I don't know who's on the top or on the bottom. I don't know where the Hannah thing came from. As far as like who is really on the top and on the bottom, my best that I have now is that Justin's on the bottom, and that's if he's just telling me the truth. Right now, there's a lot of faith. I'm just hoping for a lot, and I just have to do what's in my power, which is compete in challenges, and then just hope that at some point something will open up, and when it does, I just have to be ready to take advantage of it.
For my end game, I need to take out Justin and go with anyone else to the final. After talking with Bryce today, I think I could beat him in the end by taking out Justin, but I really think that Justin's my threat. It looks like Justin's running the show, and as Desiree said in a past tribal council, that Hannah's running the show, and I need to be able to say that at the end. Desiree's comment that Hannah's running the show was startling. I had no idea where that was coming out of. First of all, I was like, whoa, me? Like, I'm actually people are noticing that I'm doing stuff, but then second of all, I was like, oh crap. I know that I have been working with Katie, so Katie's running the show too, and I need to distinguish myself from her, and I'm willing to do whatever I can. I'm willing to be with anyone in the end besides Justin.
obstacle. It's a long, spread out challenge, so I'm going to walk you through it. I'll give you a chance to ask questions. All of you will start at the grass cutout. You'll swim across the short side of the pond. You'll come out an exit that's directly across from you. That's leg number 1. After that, you'll proceed over to the hay bale. You need to get yourself up and over that hay bale. There are logs there leaning against the hay bale. It's your choice if you want to use them or not. Once you're across the hay bale, there are a series of balance beams. In front of the balance beam, you'll see a paddle and a stack of 4 pallets. You'll pick up a paddle, reach down, pick up the 4 pallets off the ground without touching them, only using the paddle. You need to cross both balance beams. If you fall off at any point, you go all the way back to the start. The last station, you're going to enter this pond. You'll see pairs of small logs there. You need to take a pair of logs, cross the pond, come out where this spotter is standing. The water there is fairly shallow on the side if you want to take it through on foot, or you want to swim it through, you can take that option as well. It's up to you, but you must be in the water. Once you come out there, you'll make your way to a puzzle station. Pick any one you want. Final station is this puzzle. Only a few pieces. Very difficult. It's going to form a single square. Okay. So you're not going to be out of this if you're behind in the obstacle course. You can make up time on this puzzle for sure. Survivors ready. Go!
Oh. Got you. Thank you. You want me to pull you up? No, just go. You go. You go. No, it's just me. I can do this. I just gotta catch my breath.
Looking for one single square. Hannah headed into the last side of the pond. Maria's out. She's going to start work on her puzzle. Hannah into the water. One single square is all you need. Using all the pieces. Katie's through the balance beam.
John?
Nope. Gonna be a perfect square, all 4 inches, nice and straight. Courtney's out of the water. She's headed to the puzzle station. Hannah's out of the water. She's headed to the puzzle station. Everybody working on the puzzle now. Only 5 pieces to this puzzle, but it is not easy. Looking for one single square.
Got it? Are we use all the pieces?
All pieces.
Oh, it's a square, so worth a try.
Go ahead. Yeah, I got it.
Had enough time now to move all the pieces around, trying to figure out how does this thing come together. Taking a minute to thinking it through. Courtney's still trying combinations. Justin moving pieces very quickly. He's the first one here. Doesn't seem to matter anymore. Katie, wait! Hey! Oh my God! Wow!
That was so
What
hard.
is
How'd
it?
you
Good
freaking
job.
do it, girl?
Good job. What is it? Whoa.
That was a hard
First
puzzle.
one out of the water. First one to finish the puzzle. Congratulations.
Wasn't it because he's clearing out one of these things? Good work, girl.
I left you that table. I ran to the other table. I left you that. I haven't really felt, so right now there isn't really a risk to take that could work in my benefit. Last year there was a risk I could take that could have probably worked in my benefit had I taken it, but there was just like a little bit of chance that it wouldn't work. I think that the risk right now is that Hannah, Justin, and I feel like it could be very obvious to others that we're strongly connected. I mean, they already told me that they think I'm Hannah's closest person, so it's obvious. And Justin and I are always right there talking to each other. So I think that visibility is probably the biggest risk, not having that subtle game, because that could come back to bite me. But that being a strong team might just be what we need to kind of drive ourselves to the end.
But these are my 5. I have Hannah and Katie with me, and we have this thing of each of us are from a different tribe. No one would think we're together. Then I have my original red, and so I'm in the middle of those 2. Right now I have both sets of girls. Believe me, I'm in the final 3 with both of them. Courtney and I are super tight. Courtney and Maria and I from day 1. It's crazy right now that people aren't going after us, and it's because I have set it up where whenever I talked about Courtney, I never talked about us talking. I always said she was a floater, she was an outsider, all these things, but we have been like this since day 1. Maria and I, since we've swapped tribes, we've been like this. Those girls, we have been so close, but we're doing a very good job on keeping it that nobody knows. Always the potential that the 4 girls could be saying at 5 we get out Justin. easily, and I've thought that many times, at 5 they get out Justin, but the issue is with that, those girls at 2 and 2 would be going 2 and 2 together, and they are not close. Those two sets of girls are close because of me. And that is when I get to hopefully to the final tribal, that is my biggest game move, is managing a set of 4 women to work together that would not have been working together this entire time if it weren't for me in the middle. And that would be my biggest game move.
Okay, so I want Justin out because he is an amazing talker. He has been leading our tribe, our alliance, and I see him whispering with Courtney and Maria a lot. I think just as much as he has a final 3 with me and Katie, I think he has the exact final 3 with Maria and Courtney. Since Katie has told me that she has talked with Maria about the Teachers Alliance, I'm going to confirm that with Katie one more time, and I'm going to talk to Maria myself about this Teachers Alliance and ask her if she thinks we should flip on Justin and when we should. Turning on Justin is going to really break him, but hopefully we can get a lot of people on board to do that, so it's not just me that's getting the bad crap from it, but I will. But I think he would appreciate the big move of that.
You're a villain.
Here we go.
Stay back.
Why?
Just stay back.
Oh, okay.
Don't talk. No, you're fine.
It's okay?
Yeah, yes. You don't talk to Hannah. Make it look like you're voting no. You're not going to believe it. Go tell them. Hannah, don't talk to any of us. Just trust me.
Okay.
You guys, don't just. There you go. Just don't. Just tell Bryce you're voting for Hannah. Tell the girls that.
He's gonna use it.
No, he's not.
Okay.
Watch.
Okay.
Just act like. Just don't set him off. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to give up without a fight, so if any of you want to talk to me, I'm all ears. I know you're kind of at that point where you have
I think we'll all take a turn.
Yeah. Well, you want to rotate talking to you?
Sure, that'd be great. As people come around, so.
Okay. If you convince Justin.
All right, Courtney. Courtney.
Let's bring in our jury. I apologize, jury. Desiree, Rachel, Kathy voted out the last tribal council. So Bryce, the immunity streak ends. Yeah. You're vulnerable here. What's the, maybe, where's that leave you right now?
Definitely scared. I was hoping to crack maybe like a survival challenge record maybe at some point, so that kind of sucks. No, it definitely just leaves me, I mean, I guess in the same place I always was, just now there's a chance that I could go. So it's just still about finding the crack, figuring out if it's there, where it is, and if I can wiggle my way in. So I mean, we did a little circle around, everybody talked to me. I guess I'm the focal part right now, just to, I think they might just want to know where my head's at. Maybe this is that time I was talking about where they're looking for somebody to use, and so I'm just still trying to figure out what's going on, but for the most part, I'm mostly just terrified.
Hannah, what's your thoughts right now? Is it an easy time to get out a challenge threat? I mean, he's obviously performed strong. Is that your pitch? Hey, this is an easy time. Let's get rid of Bryce.
Bryce is not only a challenge threat, but he is a strategy threat. In my point of view, this is an excellent time to get Bryce out. We cannot let him get to the end. But he is getting a bug into everyone's ear in just the past 15 minutes. And he's making us go crazy. So he is a double threat, and I would say probably a triple threat. And he's putting in the work right now. And I think that's a desperate man. You know, he's being desperate, putting in the work. And I would say to everyone that we're okay. That don't let don't let that bug in your ear.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Courtney, you're nodding your head when Hannah was saying about Bryce putting a bug in everybody's ear. What is the bug?
Yeah, everyone is getting super paranoid like the last 5 minutes before coming in here. But what I hope that everyone can remember is Bryce didn't win immunity and he is desperate. So he is planting a seed in everybody's mind to get us to doubt each other. And just to remember that we've trusted each other to this point, and that Bryce is going to say anything to get us to turn on one another, so just keep that in mind.
Can I point out the irony in that? Just because we walked back from the challenge, and I just set my stuff down and I said, hey, I know where I'm sitting, back's against the wall. If anybody has anything to say, I'm going to be right over here. And the response was, why don't we all get a turn? They all came to me, they all told me what they wanted, they all told me a name, and I'm going with who I said I would go with. They could be lying to me, but then I had one person who was getting in my ear and stirring my pot. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm just saying, I understand what she's talking about. But there is more than just me that's a threat in the game. I think, yes, I may be an immunity threat, but I've been loyal to every single person through this game that I had to be to. I don't think that necessarily matters in the grand scheme of things, simply because at the end of the day, if I'm going to win immunities, I know that that's a threat. But I have won 2, Katie has won 2. So I'm not the only physical threat. There are people who are perceived as head of this group. They are also a threat. There are people who are considered pot stirrers. They are a big threat in their own way. Mm-hmm. So,
do you want to name who the heads of the groups are?
I think the perception has always been that it's this lady right here. And I know how much she loves to hear that. And it's not, I don't think it's surprising for her to hear that. I think it's just something that you have to think, okay, so what happens? Bryce gets to the end. Great. Does he have the criteria to win? And that's what it comes down to. Who has the criteria to win? Because ultimately that's what matters. And do you want to sit next to somebody who you are okay losing against? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to sit next to somebody who you can beat? So I'm sitting here going, this is a good time, again, for another move to be made. But it's being shown as if like I'm the one going to people, I'm the one saying do this, do this, do this, do this, we got this group, whatever. I'm not rallying any of these people. They're telling me what they want to do, and I'm just listening. And as I've always said, I'm going to do what I think I should do based off the people that I trust in this moment. And people have promised me stuff and not followed through. So, I'm just saying, if you promise me something and you decide not to go through with it, well, where does that leave me? So now I have to scramble. Yeah, of course my back's against the wall. I'm going to do what I can, but I'm going to fight until the very minute I get out of this game, and I don't think anybody expects any different, and I just hope that people make the right decision here. Look at the bigger picture. That's all I really have to say. So.
I just want to further clarify the holding area where we talked before tribal council. We called it the Evan strategy. Evan, who was voted out a couple rounds ago, he came up with this plan where everybody would talk in pairs while we're waiting. He said, why don't we all split up and we take turns, speed dating style, and we each get to talk. So Bryce went to the back and he said, I'm open for business, whoever wants to talk can come back here. Well, we're all conditioned, we're all used to this, everybody gets to talk. There was one round that we didn't do that. Our first merge vote, we were all very scattered and we didn't do that at all. But we have all been taking turns moving around, and no one has any rules against who can talk to who. We're all being open. And I think it's a matter of respect for Bryce. We respect him and we want him to be able to pitch us something, and we don't want to shut him out. So I wanted to clarify that.
But I wasn't pitching.
Can I get in here?
Oh, yeah.
I am tired of the Hannah show as well, so I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to do what I said, and I'm sticking to that. That's what I'm saying. So whoever we talk to, let's do this.
Maria,
I'm ready for it.
Let's go. Let's vote.
Reaction from you there. What is? Do you know where Justin's going with that?
I think it was obvious, but we've been talking about the different colors and how they were so clear on that Rubik's Cube, and I think Bryce has done a great job at stirring it up, making it as brown as the mud at our camp.
Katie, nice come from behind win for you in that last challenge.
I have to think. Hannah helped all the girls get over the hay bale, because that was tough.
Obviously, I changed the dynamic because Bryce isn't wearing that right now. Other than that, did you need that immunity, or do you think you're safe on this vote?
I think everybody needs immunity at every round. This is not something that can be just taken lightly. You just never know. You can never be 100%. So yes, I needed it just as probably everyone else did. And yeah.
Okay.
Can we vote?
Let's do it.
With that, let's get to the vote. Courtney, you're up.
This vote is not as hard as that last one. I am ready to see you go. Now, I did never promise you that I would take you. I said that I was going to try, and try I did. I really tried, and I could not get anyone to swing over, okay? But you are something. You are a force to be reckoned with. Good job.
Bring it out. Alright. Okay, this gives me an extra vote at a single tribal council. Take this parchment with you to the voting area and write your extra vote on the back. Hopefully I don't have a curse with this thing. Pleasure playing with you. Whether I go or you go, I just want to know. No hard feelings, but I'm not going down without a fight. I think I got at least 3, even if the other 2 flip. It's giving me exactly what I need.
I can't let you.
Praying that you don't have an idol, and if you do, you don't come back pissed at me.
I'll go tally the votes. If anyone has an immunity idol and you want to play it, now will be the time.
Do I need to play this?
No.
Do I need to play this? Okay. You good?
I'll read the votes. First vote. Hannah. Hannah. 2 votes, Hannah. Bryce. Bryce. 2 votes, Hannah. 2 votes, Bryce. Bryce. 3 votes, Bryce. 2 votes, Hannah. Bryce, that's 4. That's enough. You need to bring me your sword.
It was fake, by the way.
Torch. Bryce, tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Damn, Bryce. Get a double vote. Get a double vote. Get a double vote.
Because I was like, huh?
No, I see.
Okay,
I'm like, that's gotta be a flag up.
I did not trust Justin a single inch. From the minute I saw him, he is a very good liar. I think I saw through it all. So these last few votes are going to be really telling. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I think if I had a winner pick, it honestly would probably be Hannah at this point. But I have some scores to settle with her before I am willing to do that. So we'll see what happens.
So you're going to stand at your station. You're going to hold 2 ropes supporting the maze above the bucket that it's sitting on right now. The ball will be placed in the starting location. You'll need to use the ropes to maneuver the ball through the maze to the final ending point and have it still at the end to win. Just a couple of rules. If the ball falls out, it's your job to put the maze back down on the bucket, get your ball, put it back on the starting point, pick it back up and start again. One other thing you cannot do is you cannot jump the ball and have it jump over the walls of the maze. You need to operate it all the way through. We're going to let the challenge run for about 10 minutes. If nobody is won by then, we're going to advance the ball equally for all 5 of you and restart. We're going to draw for spots. Survivors ready? Go! Definite learning curve, getting a feel for how this ball rolls through the maze, how much tension you need on the ropes, how quickly you need to make adjustments.
Don't rest your maze down on the bucket. What? You can't rest the maze down on the bucket. You got. Oh.
Courtney making some progress. Katie loses hers. She's starting over. Justin's starting over. Hannah's starting over. Maria drops. Courtney's drops. She's headed back to the start. You can go ahead and set them down. Take a second, stretch your arms out. We're going to advance the balls. All right, everybody grab your ropes. Spotters, make sure if the ball drops, that's the new starting point everybody goes back to. Survivors ready, go. Hannah working her way back into the maze. Courtney to the outside ring. Justin moving slow and steady. Hannah drops. Maria starting over. Justin through another section. Justin working his way towards the center and he drops. Katie drops. Courtney drops. Maria working her way towards the center. Through a difficult section. Working her way right towards that center ring. Very close. She's in the center section. Trying to get it in the divot. Maria wins immunity!
Wow, Maria! Wow! Wow! Oh my gosh!
Nice job.
That was so tough.
That was the one. That was the one. She was the shortest one. That was heavy.
Awesome job.
Thank you. That was hard. The farthest I got was.
Maria, congratulations!
Thank you. Nice job, Maria.
Nice job.
I didn't get the puzzle yet.
I know.
Chandler, do you want to grab them?
That's not the one I thought I would get. Oh. That's for sure not the one.
Katie and Hannah are really close. And I chatted briefly with Katie about just the possibility of switching, and she was firm that like Hannah was gonna stay true, that I should not doubt that Hannah was gonna be loyal. There's so much to weigh out.
No one ever said
I do feel like out of everyone, I can trust Justin and Maria, and it's just, yeah, figuring out if just going with trust is gonna get me to the end to win against that tree.
Right now in this moment, my plan is to go to final two with Maria. I think I would have the best shot with Maria because she's basically done everything I told her to do. And they could either reward someone who played more of like a puppet master game, or they can reward someone who kind of rode someone's coattails. So I think that with Katie and Hannah, they are being perceived as running the show. So if I go with them, it would be more difficult to beat one of them. And I think it would be easier to beat Maria or Courtney. But I also found a hidden idol at the challenge when we were blindfolded. And I have a plan to possibly give that idol to Courtney. Me, Maria, Katie, and Hannah vote Courtney out. Courtney will play the idol. We'll act shocked, but we will know it the whole time. So I'm going to possibly do that. I'm thinking about that might be my plan with my idol at 5. And then Hannah would not be mad at me at that moment. Katie would not be mad at me at that moment. They would probably be mad at me later. But I think they respect the game enough, and they've been lying to people the whole time. They will see it as a good game move. And I think that's what I'm banking on, is that people that go to the jury hopefully will respect my gameplay. And if I lose to a bitter jury or people think I was too deceptive, then that's the only game I'm playing here.
I think strategically, Justin and I have been so in control of all of the votes, is what we feel, and they've gone our way. But Justin and I have felt very in control, and the reason I think Justin would beat me is because he shows it more. Like runs around and talks to the people and makes the conversations happen. Although I pulled in Hannah and Katie, so that's why I think he would run away with it. Just because they're all super fans and they respect the social play. Although now that they're saying that they think Hannah's running it all, maybe they wouldn't believe me if I went with Hannah. But I think I was running it all, so I've been crunching the numbers. I think once we get to the 5, trying to get the girls to go against Justin would be the optimal time. And again, I don't even know if I should do that just because I'm pretty confident he would take me to the end. My dilemma is, can Courtney and I beat him in a final immunity challenge? Oh, if it's a final 2. I'm assuming that it's a final 2. These are all things that Courtney and I have just been running back and forth with each other. I know, there's just so many different situations I've been running through my head.
Justin is enemy number 1. Which is, like saying that right now really is hard. I've loved working with him. I've trusted him so much. He is very good at this game and a very smooth talker, and he is a beautiful soul, and I would vote for him if I'm on the jury. So Katie has been the one talking with Maria, which, you know, frightens me because I'm not the one having those discussions with Maria. I tried to yesterday. She was pretty hesitant about saying that she would be willing to get Justin out. So I need to have that conversation with her again about Justin. I sure hope that Maria is smart enough to see how big of a threat Justin is and that she would not beat him at the end.
Okay.
I got a lot of work ahead of me.
Well, so do work. Get
yeah.
to it.
Bring in the members of our jury. Desiree, Rachel, Kathy, and Bryce voted out the last tribal. So Courtney, speaking of Bryce, he laid out a scenario early on where he said, we're going to get to a point where there's the 2 pairs and there's Justin. Is this it?
This is it.
This is it.
Yeah, this is the 5.
So the 5 has made it as far as you can go together. So now, how is the decision made? Who goes forward?
I think each of us individually, we're so close to the end game now, but that's definitely something you have to consider. Who you trust will take you, and who you think you have the best shot with. So, I mean, we're down to the wire.
Hannah, are you looking over now at the jury as it grows and trying to count votes and see where am I in this thing?
I've been trying to think of all of us in regards to that. So yes, I've been thinking about of what kind of thoughts they have.
So Justin, Bryce was painting you at this spot being the swing vote. Is that where you feel like you're at right now?
I don't think I'm a swing vote. I think that I've had a strategy going into this game that they were not aware of, and hopefully all of us played a game that was very strategic. It might have been boring and looked like pagonging, but it didn't go that route, and whoever the final 2 are here will get to explain our strategy and that, but I think this group did a really good job on working together, staying strong, and there's reasons why that happened.
Maria, big immunity win. You're safe from this vote. Do you feel like you needed that coming in here?
Yeah, I mean, when you're 5, it's just so up in the air. One vote could change the whole thing. So yeah, I felt like I needed it. I didn't think that'd be one. You guys made that heavy. Didn't think that would be one that I would get, but I was super excited.
Katie, what about you? You've been a couple of immunities already. You've won. You've probably starting to build a story you think you might be able to tell the jury. How do you see yourself fitting with this final 5 in terms of where you stand with the people who are already on the jury?
I mean, I don't know about in terms of the jury now. You know, unfortunately, I got to have some good social connections with some of them, but I didn't really get to know them that well because they were very new to me. But in terms of this group, I've just had a plan in my mind this whole time, and adapting as needed, but I've got a specific goal and specific people that I think will help get me there.
Courtney, final five. Any talk about immunity idols and how that might affect this vote?
No, actually, none of us had brought up immunity idols. I think we all knew about Bryce's advantage, but other than that, I don't think anyone's really been searching or looking. I haven't heard anything, so
We've been really open with each other.
yeah.
Okay, with that, let's get to the vote. Maria, you're up.
Y'all hate us, huh?
I love you, but you're such a big threat. I hope you're not too mad at me when you get to that jury.
There's all this talk about the Hannah show, but you and I both know it's been the Justin show this whole time. And now I really need it to be the Hannah show, so you have to go. You're just a big threat, dude.
My goal from a long time ago is get to the final two with Maria, final three red, and you and Katie have been my second tier, most priority. Great game. And thank you for taking the target off me as the puppet master. Since everyone thinks you're the puppet master, it's been real good.
I'll tally the votes. If anyone has an immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time. I'll read the votes. First vote. Jay, Justin. Justin. 2 votes, Justin. Justin, that's 3. That's enough. And I have an idol!
You really?
Jay.
Oh my god.
Good souvenir.
Yeah.
Love you, Jay.
Thanks,
Jay,
guys.
I love you.
Justin, the tribe has spoken.
Thank you.
Time for you to go.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You didn't tell anyone.
I didn't know.
He didn't tell anyone.
The biggest shock of the game.
He was so confident in us.
Oh, we know.
It feels a little sweeter, actually. I feel evil.
I went from mastermind to fool, and I got played by those girls. I brought those girls together, and they just saw me. I get it. I was the one running the show, so that's why they took me on. I give them credit. I love the game. I'm gonna maybe pretend to be bitter, but I'm not bitter. They played me really well at the end, and they recognized that if I got to the end, I think I would have won.